gosh. I just first of all, uh, target individual. These people around you. I just have to make yourself have to make themselves damn near, um, on the spectrum. And I'm glad that I'm just so thankful I didn't have to stoop to this level of humiliation, right? And it's funny how like they try to use this type of silences because it's humiliating. In the last video, you see me and you see this video. I talk about how like this coworker of mine literally had this kid come in, and which I think is that kids, I don't know. And you see this video, this one that you'll see, right? And you see me reacting to that. I'm like, oh wow, basically like wow, like she have no shame, like wow, really. And they're like, oh no, what you're doing is like, wow, like this kid, she like, you were so into this kid, you were like, wow, let me take a picture. When in reality, I was like, wow, let me take a picture of that so I can post it and talk about this. And it's like, do it, man. They try to say, yeah, they're going to rape you, they're going to do it. Like, I'm like, listen, whatever's going to happen to me, I'm just thankful that in my life, I didn't have to do these things or did this kind of things to humiliate myself to this level. Listen, I'm not perfect, but thank God that this is not something I have or I did in my life. How humiliating is that? That I'm here trying to create this fantasy. Obviously, it's, they try to gaslight you. They try to annoy you. They try to agitate you. They're like, oh no, you're like, oh wow, you're into it. Poo. So pathetic. It's so pathetic. And you hear these children like, oh yeah, oh we got you. And they try to use this tone of voice to try to agitate you. It's like, oh, I'm man. Obviously, these people work for pedophiles, right? Obviously, reality is something they escape from and create a new version of reality in every levels. And obviously, reality is going to come to them, and it might come harder than anything I will ever experience. Because this is obvious. You escape from reality to this nth degree. What do you expect things are going to come? Like, it's going to just brace yourself. Just like you see me being tortured and tormented, brace yourself for something to be in the worst circumstances. Because I know that what's happening to me is because my employer put me in this program, and now these entities that do this type of torture manipulate your thoughts and force you to think in these different ways, will force you to have these disturbing, illogical, nonsensical ways of perceiving reality. Right? I understand that. So that is going to come with the torture and the torment that these people do to people. But these people that are doing this to people, they have to escape reality. Right? And then they go into like disorienting me with the torture I'm going to experience. Listen, whatever is going to happen to me, this is the world you're in. Where you obviously have to change reality to that extent. Listen to this, right? Listen to at the end. And watch how they're going to try to listen to what they try to change it to. It's like, oh, you're like, oh, wow. Oh, she's so, like that kid that you see there in green. That kid, yes, that's, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so wild. And that's why I reacted this way and took a picture. Well, in reality, obviously, if you've seen my last video, is basically, I was like, oh, wow, I can't believe this coworker would bring her child in this, video chat, and it's obvious that kid was told to come there, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, she's literally like moving and trying to be like in the right frame, like somebody's like telling her just, okay, move to the right, to the left, okay, yeah, perfect there. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. It's like really literally setting your child to pose so these perfect things can be applied. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe people they literally would do that. But they're like, oh no, basically you say wow because she's like, well, you're into kids like that, so you're like, wow. That is what reality is to them. It's a creation, a falsification. They make things a new reality for them. But of course, you cannot make reality because reality will come to you. You can't. You can, for now, you got whatever, oh, yeah, it's your world, yeah, oh, go ahead, and then, okay. By the way, you're just trash, you're just a bottom feeder. You know that all along, you try to escape from this reality. And now they're making me a genius because of things like that. Now I'm like, oh, wow, this is why I'm a genius. I'm a genius now. I'm the smartest human being. Because they have to dumb themselves down to this level. And it's not just one or two people. It's just the whole ecosystem. That's what now you're like, oh my gosh. And they like try to be, oh, you're so smart. It's like, no, you just dumb yourself down to this level. And now I'm a genius. Just because you chose to take this path, and now you are here dumbing yourself down to this level. Because you know you work for pedophiles, and now you like try to change things in a different version. To all my target individual, find yourself lucky. I know. For me, I know it's going to be horrible, painful. But this is the humiliating life that these people have to do, to live. And you hear them try to find ways to change it. Man. I was like, oh my gosh. I know you've seen my death, but you have no expectation. You don't know nothing about what's coming to you. But for you to dedicate your life in doing these humiliating things to yourself, please continue. That's all I can wish for this trash.
One day, I also observed her gasping for air a few times in the sentence, as they often do. One day, she had a large, severe bite mark on her arm, nearly suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point, repeatedly, especially the sneezing, because the V2K says it's like an orgasm, so they make people around me sneeze excessively to threaten more sexual assaults. One day, I also observed her gasping for air a few times in the sentence, as they often do. One day, she had a large, severe bite mark on her arm, nearly suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point, repeatedly, especially the sneezing, because the V2K says it's like an orgasm, so they make people around me sneeze excessively to threaten more sexual assaults. I am currently a speech-language pathologist working, and they used her to threaten the most torture in me, as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry, making incredible progress on all of her therapy goals. This was used to threaten extreme torture on me, making me scream and cry, etc. They would make the kids act out the kinds of torture that would later be done on me. For example, they would also sometimes make her bite her hand, threatening to make me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, sorry.
One day, I also observed her sneeze excessive torture in me, as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry, making incredible progress on all of her therapy goals. Later be done on me. For example, they would also sometimes make her bite her hand, threatening to make me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, sorry.